Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Shred Show live with me, Josh Pitts, and very good friends, the lovely, the talented Christy Sugnad this morning from Flagstar. I'm excited to have her, and y'all know what we're talking about this morning. I've been talking about it. Last week we had John Gibson on the show talking about it, and this is a big deal. So if you're just joining us right now, first and foremost, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. But Christy and I have some very big, exciting things we're going to be talking about one of the, in my opinion, Christy, navigating today's evolving housing market is an event. It is next Monday and Tuesday. I'm very excited, but thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule at Flagstar for joining me to talk about this absolutely epic event.
Josh, I couldn't be more excited to be here. Plus, look at that energy that you have. I should start every morning with you.
I know, right? People say that. They're like, that's why I tune into the Shred Show, because you're just like, no matter what, I'm just excited because you know what, Christy? We live blessed lives, and all the things that are going on in the world right now, we live pretty fortunate lives, and I'm just excited to be here with you. There's not, you just make me smile too when I'm with you, Christy. You got that infectious smile, that laugh. So, and guys, if you don't follow Christy on LinkedIn, like you need to, she puts out some incredible content, puts out some incredible and inspiring videos as well. So, Christy, thank you for all that you're doing right now.
Well, I appreciate the kind words.
With that, you and I are excited. Like I mentioned, next Monday and Tuesday, we have a very special event. Flagstar and Freddie Mac have partnered together to put out an incredible event. And you and I were just talking about it. What's so exciting to me is you don't just have run-of-the-mill speakers. You have executives from Freddie and from Flagstar coming and sharing some of the top information, things that you need to know in this evolving housing market that's going to help you in your business. So what Christy and I are going to do today, we're actually going to take a minute and we're going to break down this schedule for you. And Christy, one of the things that I'm excited about, I don't know about you, but this event is very quick. It's not a 2 full day event. It's a couple hours. You can get in, you can register for this event, take a couple hours out of Monday, couple hours out of Tuesday, and you're rocking and rolling.
Absolutely. And if for whatever reason your schedule doesn't accommodate showing up live, if you register, you'll be able to access the recordings of the event, which to your point, these are things people are not going to want to miss. We are in a really rapidly evolving environment that, despite some of the rapidly evolving environments that have happened in my career, this one kind of is unique. And being able to hear from senior leadership from both Freddie and Flagstar around what's happening with COVID and what's happening with forbearance, and not just what's happening, but how it's impacting the market and what you can do to actually secure your business and help borrowers.
Yeah. And that's just it, is helping consumers. That's, we're talking about some really in-depth things for this event. And again, this is one of those events where you're not going to want to miss it. And again, it's free to register. That's what's so cool is Flagstar, you guys at Flagstar have taken this upon yourselves and made this a free event. You guys could easily charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to attendees because of the speaker lineup. You're not charging a dime. You just have to register the link below, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you got to do. That's the hardest thing you need to do. And then just show up on Monday and Tuesday. You would be crazy not to take advantage of this. And Christy, let's get into this lineup because what, like you said, this lineup is absolutely impressive. The more I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just like, holy smokes, there are so many incredible people who are taking time out of their busy schedules to be here and actually talk about some of these things. So let's start. I mean, the very first session from 105 to 145, the new now in affordability. Talk a little bit about that session.
So the way this is structured is we really want it to be a progression that helps you know where we are and where we're headed. And so this first session is with two senior economists over at Freddie. So we are going to have Lynn Kiefer and Cindy Waldron come and talk about the actual market and where we are and answer all those nitty gritty deep dive questions that you have. I don't know about you, Josh, but I am a geek for data. And I want to understand what those impacts are. And we live in this kind of on demand world where we really want to know real life what's going on and what those impacts are, or at least what the progression is. And so Lynn and Cindy are going to come and join us and share from their perspective. So Lynn is the deputy chief economist for Freddie Mac overall. And then Cindy is the vice president of housing and insights for single family. So
Mm.
their knowledge is unparalleled. They are keynote speakers at, as you mentioned, like significantly larger in-person events that could cost a lot of money to go to. And we're making this opportunity in partnership with Freddie available to everyone because we believe this information is things that should be in the hands of every single industry professional, from real estate agents to loan officers to anybody that's going to talk to the consumer. This information is highly valuable. And if you've ever wondered, like, what kind of questions are going to get asked, am I going to be on this call and I'm not going to be able to ask questions? John Gibson, who is our head of TPO, is going to be taking the lead and saying, hey, these are the questions that we've heard from our partners that we want to make sure that we get out there. And he's going to be joining those guys, live and on stage through the beautiful technology that we're in to kind of make that happen for you.
And like you said, this is so focused on the industry right now and what's going on in the industry. And these speakers that are taking their time, this is absolutely one of those opportunities. You cannot miss this. You cannot overthink this. You literally just have to sign up right now. And the fact that we get to hear Cindy and Len in this session, I'm really excited about. And then the very next session, again, you've got this great first start out session is super powerhouse. But then the next one, we have so many questions. And I see this all over social media right now, is asking about forbearance. And that's the very next session, is talking about what's next in forbearance, facts, figures. You have Kevin Palmer, you have Terry Merlino, you have, it's moderated by Courtney Thompson. Like, this is another really important session.
It is. And what's interesting, there was a study that came out just yesterday that said that 60% of homeowners that make less than $50,000 a year don't even know what forbearance options are available to them, which is crazy, right? These are the customers in a lot of cases, and not that forbearance issues only impact lower to moderate income individuals, but they certainly, in a lot of cases, given what's happened with COVID and the businesses that have had to furlough employees or close their doors, a lot of that does impact this population of borrowers. And we have a duty to get that information out there to not only understand and be able to explain what the options are, but if you've taken advantage of forbearance because it was something that you needed, what happens? What happens to your ability to purchase another home should you have to get a job in a different market? What happens to your ability to refinance and save money for your family? What solutions is the industry putting forward? And this is your chance to talk to, like you said, we have Kevin Palmer, who runs portfolio management for Freddie Mac Single Family. Terry is the chief risk officer for Freddie Mac, and Courtney Thompson heads default servicing here at Flagstar. Like, if you need to ask a question about what's going to happen and how does it impact your borrower, these are the folks you want to get the answers from.
I was going to say, if you have questions about forbearance, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this session, because again, you will be able to ask these questions. So you do not want to miss this. I want you to think right now, how many of your clients how many of you actually have reached out to your clients? Maybe that's an opportunity right now that you should be thinking about. Have you talked to your clients about forbearance? If you haven't, this is the session that you want to attend so you can become knowledgeable. Because Christy, the last thing we want is anybody talking about forbearance who they don't know what the heck they're talking about. There's a lot of, I guess, open-ended questions that people really don't know the answers to. So you're going to be able to hear from the experts within our industry so you can ultimately go help your consumer. This is a perfect session. I think this is brilliant. I'm so glad that Flagstar and Freddie, as we were talking about this, getting ready for this event, this was one of those that you listen to the people, you listen to our industry, and this was one of those topics that people really needed to hear.
Absolutely. And then, that wraps up day one. So we're going to have, roughly an hour and a half with these folks on day one. And then you get to come back on Tuesday. And after you've digested that information, we're going to kick Tuesday off with Nadja and myself and Bev Meeks, who heads our CRA. So Nadja is the affordable housing lady at Freddie Mac. She is the one who is out in the community helping people understand, helping lenders and realtors understand exactly what options they have available and how they can help consumers. And we're going to talk about, if the current environment has made you want to be able to offer some additional opportunities to consumers. And maybe this is something that hasn't been a part of your business plan. How do you get started, or how do you ramp up this portion of your business? This is what Naja, Bev, and I are going to be talking about. So Bev is the head of CRA for Flagstar. And I mean, it couldn't be a better group to really talk about how do you take action and drive forward?
And that's just alone. Christy, speaking at this, you guys should sign up right now. Christy's going to be speaking. She's bringing her energy. She's bringing that smile. So that alone, if it doesn't get you excited to come to this event, you're crazy. You're crazy. But you're right. There's little things like this that you're talking about that we need to understand. We need to learn more about. And that's what ultimately it's the tools that we have at our fingertips that are not being utilized. And this is one of those sessions to really understand what we as originators, what we as lenders, what we as who have the responsibility to benefit consumers, we need to be learning about. And that's what you and Naja and Beverly are going to be talking about in that session, which again, is just super exciting to me. And then the last session, again, so I want you guys to think about this. Like you said, Christy, this is an hour and a half out of everybody's day. This isn't 6 hours. This isn't 4 hours. This is just, a very short time to really cram everything you need in a very short amount of time, ladies and gentlemen. So don't overthink this. Don't think this is going to be another event that's going to take hours and hours out of your day. I promise you that if you come to this event, you're going to get a few nuggets that you're like, wow, that was jam-packed. And that's what, Christy, when you guys were planning this event and getting ready to put it on, you thought, you know what? The industry's busy. There's a lot going on. So we want to make sure we jam-pack all of this in for everybody who's attending. And the last session, this, in my opinion, is going to be kind of to cap it off, the mic drop is this last session, which is helping borrowers of the future tackle challenges of the past. So talk a little bit about the speakers in this session.
So, what we wanted to do with this last session was, have you ever been a fly on the wall or wanted to be a fly on the wall when senior leadership is talking about the things they talk about, if you will, when they're out having a beer with other leaders? And that's what this session is. This is just now, I understand there's not going to be any actual beer, which is a little
Dang it.
disappointing if you
Dang
ask
it.
me, but there, we're going to have Lee Smith, who's the chief operating officer for Flagstar, sorry, and we are going to have Danny Gardner, who is the senior vice president of client and community engagement with Freddie, and we're going to have Ken Perry from the Knowledge Coop, who, by the way, has the most energy of anybody I've ever seen, and the most knowledge when we start talking about compliance issues and how they impact how we move forward and where the industry is headed. You couldn't ask for a more knowledgeable individual. And so when you combine the industry experience, insights, the wisdom of these three gentlemen from their diverse perspectives, like this alone is worth the price of admission. And then we
Oh,
didn't even charge anything for admission.
100%. I was going to say, this alone is one of those sessions where you do not want to miss it. Like you said, Ken Perry, good friend, owner of and founder of the Knowledge Coop, where this is being hosted on. Like, this is another session where it's just absolutely worth it. Day two, Christy, I'm excited for, of course, day one, but day two is one of those with you, with Naja, with Beverly, with Lee, Danny, Ken Perry. This 2-hour little block, this hour and a half block is just like jam packed. You will leave this afternoon, the Tuesday afternoon session, just excited, pumped up. You will have knowledge, you'll have the tools, everything you need to really go out. And again, this is all for the benefit of the consumer. Ultimately, we're educating, we're helping bring knowledge to all of you mortgage advisors, all you professionals out there, so you can go take this knowledge back to you. We have to be the professionals, we have to be the advisors, and this is your opportunity to learn from the best of the best in the mortgage industry. And again, Christy, it's so, to me, this just emulates who Flagstar is and who Freddie Mac is. You guys are all about serving the mortgage community.
Absolutely. And we know that everybody is really busy right now, that there are so many consumers that need our help. But one of the things that throughout my career, I've always shared with folks when they said, well, what should I do to actively make sure that my business is solid and that I am serving my customer and that I continue to grow? And that is take a little bit of time every week and grow your knowledge. Take a little bit of time to step back. That it actually, it seems counterintuitive to a lot of folks to take time away from actual production, be it if you're a loan officer or a real estate agent, a mortgage advisor, whatever your role in the industry. A lot of folks are like, I just want to get it all done, nose to the grindstone. And actually, that's not the best way. Like, it helps you and it helps your consumer and it helps your productivity if you have a little bit more knowledge. And this is a place where we are literally, to your point, cramming in so many senior leaders that are going to be able to share valuable insights that you're going to want to have that piece of paper handy and your pen, maybe even watch the replay. You'll get so much value out of it that you'll want to see it more than once.
I was going to say, and that's one of the coolest things. You can watch it on the replay if you register now, which the link is below. We have posted it in the comments. If you're whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching us from today, the link is below in the comments, so you can click on it. You can register right now. And like you said, Christy, we understand that you guys are busy. Flagstar and Freddie had this in mind as they were putting on this event. That's why number one, they've done a very short. They've condensed so much into a short time span. But again, if you can make it, you can go back and watch on the replay. I recommend them being there live because, again, as we mentioned in the beginning, you can actually ask your questions. They're going to be fielding questions on these things. They have carved out times at the end of every session to answer your questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, click the link below, register. You're not going to want to miss this because it's absolutely an incredible opportunity. And again, Christy, huge shout out and thanks to you, to Flagstar, to Freddie putting on this. There's been so many people who have been behind the scenes working tirelessly to make this event happen.
I couldn't agree more. And I appreciate all the folks who have really invested in the technology and invested their time to come up with this agenda, come up with the great resources, and all of the executives who really are taking a massive amount of time out of their schedule to prepare for this and to show up and actually share the information.
Couldn't agree more. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I just posted the link below. You can click on it. Make sure you go do it right now. Huge thanks to everybody involved. This is going to be an incredible event. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is next on this Monday and Tuesday, the 17th and 18th, from 1 to roughly 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you definitely want to go click on the link right now and get registered. Christy, as always, it's an incredible opportunity. I love your energy, your smile, everything that you bring to the show. And thank you so much for joining me today, talking about navigating today's evolving housing market, an event brought to you by Flagstar and Freddie Mac. Ladies and gentlemen, Christy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Josh. Have a great day. See you guys Monday and Tuesday.
Well, I was going to say, guys, we will see you Monday and Tuesday. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Do not let us slide by. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. And now it's time for you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.